Hi, I'm Dimitris Charalambidis, and in this presentation we'll learn how to solve for a variable in literal equations. Before we start, we should say some things about literal equations. Starting by definition, a literal equation is an equation that contains two or more variables. We can find many literal equations in scientific formulas. For example, the relation L equals 2 pi r that relates the circumference of a circle with its radius, or the famous Einstein's theory of relativity formula E equals mc squared, are both literal equations. Although these equations may seem that they can only be solved for the variable that is left alone on one side of the formula, the truth is not anywhere near that. In fact, we can solve for any variable with respect to others. Given a literal equation, we will often be asked to solve it for a given variable. Our goal in that case will be to isolate the given variable. The process of doing it is the same process we use to solve simple one-variable equations. The only difference here is that we will be working with a lot more letters, so simplifications will not occur as much as with simple equations. Right now, we will work together some examples of literal equations so that we can understand better the method used. Example 1. Solve for m in the equation 2mx squared minus k equals p. Since we want to solve for m, we need to isolate m on one side of the equation. But before we isolate m, we must first isolate the term that contains the variable m. In that case, this term will be the 2mx squared term. So, in order to isolate it, we will need to apply the addition property of equality and simply add k on both sides. By doing that, we get that 2mx squared minus k plus k equals p plus k. K's on the left side of the equation are cancelled out, and we get the equivalent equation 2mx squared equals p plus k. Now, to fully isolate m, we will use the division property of equality, and we will divide both sides by 2x squared. By doing that, we write that 2mx squared over 2x squared equals p plus k over 2x squared, and after some simplifications, we get that m equals p plus k over 2x squared. Example 2. Solve for h in the equation a equals half times b times h. Since we want to solve for h, we need once again to isolate h on a side. We will start by applying the multiplication property of equality to lose the denominator. Thus, we will multiply both sides by 2. So, by doing that, we get that 2 times a equals 2 times half times b times h. Numbers 2 on the right side of the equation are cancelled out, and we get the equivalent equation 2a equals bh. Then, we use the division property of equality, and we will divide both sides by b. By doing that, we get that 2a over b equals bh over b, and b's on the right side are cancelled out, and finally we get the wanted equation, which is h equals 2a over b. For any questions about this presentation, you can leave comments down below, or you can contact me with one of the following ways, either on my email or in my Facebook page. As always, thank you for your time.